back at it again. Fairway Conversations. Gabriel, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Man. Just finishing up my day at work. Regular job stuff. Like none of the fun stuff that I like to do, like podcasting or playing golf or anything. It's just more all of the mental stuff and driving to LA today, looking at a few projects and battling traffic.
Yeah.
It's that Southern California life, man.
Yeah, I don't envy you with that traffic, man.
It's tough. It's tough some days, you know, it wears on you. It wears on you. So,
oh yeah. I know it.
I don't know if I told you, but CravenGolf.com.
CravenGolf.com. Tell me.
Yeah, I signed us up for a brand ambassadorship like a while back, and I completely forget to remind you about it. Wearing one of my Craven Golf hats right now. I did order some new gear. New stuff is going fast, man. It's going quick.
Yeah.
One of the cool things, though, is that they didn't have before that they have now. They got some more of the big boy sizes. And, you know, I need some of them big boy sizes once in a while. That little slim fit. Sure. It's not built for a guy like me. You know, so I did notice that on all of their newer stuff, they did go with a triple X, which is actually more like a double X, you know, type of size.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I did order a couple new golf polos. I'm going to try them out, see how they feel. I have had some of the hats. I've had a sweatshirt. I really like them, really comfortable. So I'm looking forward to see what the polo is going to be like.
Yep.
But if you
love the hat.
Oh, thanks, man.
The hat. It looks cool. I like it. I like the way it looks.
Yeah, we'll have to get a couple matching ones, maybe for member guests or something. You know, we'll get some matching gear or something out there. But check out CravenGolf.com at checkout. Hit Fairway Conversations. Get yourself a little bit of a discount. 15% off is what it is. So
that's a big discount, man.
It is, man. It is.
Use it. Use it.
Absolutely. You know, so funny though. I just mentioned like those big boy sizes, and so Sonia and I, we were over at Lulu the other day, and bro, you know, those polos and stuff are just buttery soft. And so just for sizing wise, because they don't have any, again, over at Lulu, probably 3X in the polo type, you know, polo realm. I put on the 2X just to see what it feels like. It's like, I look like I'm the Incredible Hulk, like trying to fit into this thing. It's just like, it's so tight on my arms. Tight. Oh my gosh. I mean, so comfortable, honestly, very, very comfortable, but it's like, what's the best way to say it? A very muscular fat guy.
Oh, jeez.
That's what it looks like. Because you can see like
tight.
You can see every muscle in like my arm and my forearm, but then whoop, there's a little bit of a belly that's there too. So you've seen those guys before, right?
I know what you mean. Yeah. We call it the power belly.
The power belly. Okay.
Yeah. As long as you got a name for it, you're good.
Yeah, man. Sounds good. But I wanted to dive in, speaking of fitness and everything else a little bit and where we're at. And I'll tell you a little bit about where I'm at in my fitness journey right now.
Let's start with you.
You want to go to that first?
I want to go with you first. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
so
go for it.
Last time we talked, you were signed up for a 5K.
Yep.
And we talked about how it might be on the same weekend as a member guest tournament, which, you know, you might have to move it. You might not. We'll see. But
sure.
Since then, you've started running outside a little bit more and, you know, kind of fill me in on where everything's gone since you started.
Okay. So where I'm at since we started is, like you're saying, the running. It's been getting better and I'm loving running. Like you said at the very beginning, I think you're going to find a little bit of that passion. You're going to find a little bit of that love for running. I'm excited like every morning to like get up. I'm not outside every single day. It's a mixture of treadmill and outside work. And I'm loving getting up and being excited about running. I'm looking at running shoes all the time now.
Yeah, I told you, man. I told you.
Trying to get 2 or 3 pairs. But I have ran 3 miles on both outside and on the treadmill. So that was a goal for me to reach by June was to hit 3 miles.
Yeah.
And we are in March right now and getting towards the end of March, but in March and I'm already up past the 3 mile mark. So
awesome.
I'm loving that part of it.
How does it feel whenever you like? Okay, so I guess my first question: how do you feel after 1 mile outside?
Perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
Everything like, how does your body feel? Like your body feels like it's holding up, doing well.
Yeah.
And then
It's 1.75 miles is when I can start to feel it.
you can start to feel it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you get to that third mile, what's kind of going through your brain? Like, is it more of like is it a mental thing? Is your chest on fire? Or is your body feeling it? Is it all of them? What is the feeling when you get to that point?
It's the tingles. Like I'm getting like the little tiny tingles, I think, from just being a little bit tired. And I know like I'm constantly looking at my watch to see where I'm at mileage wise.
Yeah.
Just trying to push through. And so if I'm running, basically I'm running right now like 11-minute splits.
Yep.
And so when I get to that point, I just keep looking at the watch, just trying to finish. And I don't want to do that, but like when I'm on the treadmill, I don't do it when I'm getting over 3 miles on the treadmill, but outside, yeah, I'm like, okay, when am I going to get there? When am I going to get there? When am I going to get there? So, yeah,
And you're using a Garmin, right?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. So, and if I remember right, you said that you you used AI to write you a running program. Is that correct?
I did previously, but I haven't been following that.
Okay. Can I make a recommendation?
Sure.
So I think it'd be cool. The Garmin and it can do so much, man. Have you downloaded the Garmin Connect app?
I do have it.
Okay.
I don't use it very often.
You can set up, I don't know if you know this, you can basically set up like a certain running workout to where if you want it to keep you at a certain pace, like it'll let you know if you're outside of that pace, or if you want it to keep track of, like, I want to run for, like, for example, for me, like I run for 2 minutes and I walk for 30. Like it's an aerobic thing, and it keeps me, it's a low impact thing for like my body altogether. So whenever you plan it out, it's really easy to follow, and it kind of keeps you in like that rhythm of not looking at your watch so much. You just go till it says.
Copy that.
Because I had that same thing that you were talking about. I'm like, oh, where am I? Where am I? Where am I at? I kept looking at my watch. That helped me a lot. So you might look into that.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. But that's through the Connect portion of the app, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I set that I'm in the running mode on there, so that it's keeping track of my heart rate, is keeping track of my pace, is keeping track of, my mileage and stuff. It's just by pushing the buttons through my Garmin watch, but not the stuff like you're talking about. But that sounds like that's set up through Garmin Connect.
So the way it works is you set it up on your phone, Garmin Connect, and it says like you can like Bluetooth it, like it's like download it to your watch, and it'll like load, and then when you pull it up on your watch, you can go to workouts, and it'll have workouts that you made on the app.
Copy that. Okay.
I'll show you how to do that when we get wrapped up.
Yeah, man.
It takes 10 seconds.
It's crazy because, I basically use my watch for golf, and then it's the auxiliary wearing of it. Overall, it's, and I do use it for helping to track my running, and, but I'm not using it to, like, I don't go back and look at the data or anything like that. And I know that my watch will do so much more.
Dude,
and I know I'm not using it to its capabilities. Mainly because I'm kind of lazy to do all that stuff.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
If you were out playing golf today, and it's a place you've never played before, would you use a rangefinder?
Yes.
Would you? Yes, right?
Yes.
Would you wear tennis shoes, or would you wear golf shoes?
Golf shoes.
So why wouldn't you use a tool that will only help you, not hurt you, right?
Exactly.
So I know what you mean, though. It's one of those things you haven't done it yet, but once you do it, you're like, oh, it's badass. Like, I love how it can do all these things, and you'll nerd out on it for a little bit, and then you'll learn how to use it, and I think you should try it out. I think you'll really enjoy it.
I'll definitely start using it more. And that kind of leads into one of the questions that I had for you today. And we'll get to that question here in a minute, but you're coming off of High Rocks, Houston. How did that go, my man? I mean, it sounded like it went pretty good. Give us the info.
It went really well. So Robbie texted me the day, Thursday or Friday, Texted me like Friday morning. He's like, how are you feeling? Checking in. He's like, what do you have a time you're shooting for? And I was feeling, I was feeling pretty good. And I'll go through kind of how the weekend went, but I said 70 minutes, like 70 or less, which is an hour and 10, or I got an hour and 14. So I got 74 minutes last time. And you were there. You saw what happened. I messed up and got a penalty on the sled pulls. I kind of blew myself up on the sled push early on, my legs, and overall, and then I kind of didn't really have a plan going into wall balls. So there was like, those are the three big things that I felt like I could do better at. So I was like 70 minutes. I told him, I'm like, man, like, I know I can go get 70. I could have done it in Vegas. I'm going to go get it. And he's like, that's awesome. So the weekend was great, by the way. So we ended up leaving on Thursday around 3:00, and we were going to stay in Dallas. So Dallas is kind of like the midway-ish point to Houston. It's about 4 hours. And we got into Dallas, and we were going to stay with a buddy of mine, but we were both like, we're not that tired. It was about 7:00, 7:30. We're like, we're not that tired. How about we just keep going? We'll just finish the drive. So we went all the way to Houston. I got we got the hotel room all switched over, and I was really glad that we did, because by the time we got there, I slept in a little bit. Lauren got up, when she got up around 6:30. She went to the gym. I just laid there on Friday morning, just reading my book in my bed, and just took it easy. And I got up, and I got some stretches in, some mobility, just kind of moving around after sitting in the car for a little over 8 hours. And we had a great Friday. Like, we walked around, we got some coffee. We went to a really good place downtown where I got some, I think some blackened fish tacos.
Nice.
With some really good corn. I got a little side of sweet potato. It was really, really cool. We just kind of sat there at the park, and downtown Houston. It was really nice. It was overcast, little breeze. It was just like a really, really good morning. Just me and Lauren talking and walking around.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? I didn't even think about it to hit up M. Tizzy to go out there and check you out, man.
I know. Dropped the ball on that one.
I know. That's my bad. My B, yo.
It's okay. As long as you own it.
You know what's cool though, too, is everything that you're talking about is on your vlog right now.
Yes. Yeah. Everyone go check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. They're freaking awesome. I mean, you've got those things dialed in pretty good. I enjoy watching them. I've been going back and watching a few of the old ones as well, because it kind of goes YouTube, it replays it, and sometimes they carry over. I might be running on the treadmill and I was watching the vlog, and then it carries over to the next one. So it's kind of it's cool to watch, man, and you're doing a great job with those. So I'm very proud of you with that.
Thank you. There's some days where I think I've told you, I don't feel creative. Some days, my brain just can't wrap around what I want. It's almost like it's paralysis analysis, where I want to do it, but I overthink it. And I'm like, where do I put the camera? What do I talk about? Am I talking about too much? So there's some days where I'm just I don't want to do it. And then there's, some days where I'm like, oh, my brain's like, yeah, that looks good. I know that looks good. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It all just, but it's really cool to kind of come together at the end and put it all together and edit it and do some voiceovers. It's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Lauren made a good point. She's like, you're going to look at this in a couple years, or even years and years down the line, when you've got kids and stuff like that, and they can look back and see what their dad was doing when he was 28 years old, going and doing high rocks. So
yeah, no, that's a cool thing. And speaking of Lauren, man, she freaking brings a little bit of comic relief in those things. So
yes.
She's just so funny with just what she does, with her eyes, and
I
all
know.
these.
She cracks me up.
Yeah, I giggle every single time when I see her on there. And of course, we all love seeing Charlie. And she's just the coolest dog, you know what I mean? So
my little sidekick.
Yeah, I know. We were watching it the other day. Sonia and I were sitting on the couch, and it was I was like, oh, the new vlog is out. And so we sat down, and she was in the kitchen, and I started it. Not really. I was just getting it queued up, and the music started playing. And then she's like, wait, I'm gonna come sit down. And then Charlie comes on, and I'm over there with Bentley. I'm like, Bentley, there's your cousin right there. Yeah. Look at Charlie. And he's just looking at me
yeah, he's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? I don't even know that word, cousin.
Yeah.
So funny, so funny. We were talking a little bit about the technology and my watch, but I did want to ask you, so you're like when it comes to technology and with your fitness, and you're like totally hooked up, whether it's the Whoop strap, you've got your watch going, you got the heart monitor going. How do you know like which one to really like? What's your one that you really trust in overall that's giving you the right information?
Yeah. You know, honestly, the Whoop is for it's primarily to track like my Garmin can do all these things, but I trust the Whoop more in these metrics of sleep, HRV, resting heart rate, all of those things. As far as the workouts go, there's a discrepancy or a difference between how my Garmin sees quote unquote zone two versus how my Whoop sees zone two.
Sure.
So I trust the Garmin more than I do the Whoop because that's what a lot of things I've read online say. And I've also found it to be a lot more accurate because you can actually put the Whoop on your bicep and it can track your heart rate a little bit more accurately, but I don't have that. So I'd like to get that. But I have the heart rate monitor that connects to the Garmin, and that just makes sense for me to follow that. I don't try to like be like, oh, this one isn't in zone two, or I'm in zone three in this one. Like I trust the Garmin for the workout stuff, and I trust the Whoop for the sleep and for the recovery and all of those other metrics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then I wanted to ask you a little bit, gear wise. You know, we're talking about me now with the shoes, and I did go over to the Nike store and I picked up a couple like running shirts with the dry fit. Is there something else that I should be looking into?
I would honestly say just whatever makes you feel comfortable. So I know like in the summer, if I do run with a shirt on, it will be a dry fit shirt. You know, because you can get chafing really easy, or like sometimes your nipples, if like there's cotton rubbing on them, it'll really hurt them. They can bleed. Like um, that's a big thing. So, but like you made a good point. Like if it's Lulu that makes you feel comfortable and it makes you go out there and do it, like wear whatever you want to wear if you can do it, right? Um, like me, like I have some really nice Lulu shirts, but they're almost too nice to where like I don't want to pit them out because I sweat so
Sure.
much. So my mom got me like a 5-pack of these Amazon dry fit t-shirts, and they're perfect. They're perfect for what I need if I need to wear them. Like if I want to look cool, I got some other stuff I can wear, I
Yeah.
promise. But um headphone, I wear these Open Shock, I think they're called Open Shock Pro 2s. So they're bone conductor ones. I got them for Christmas. They don't go in your ear. They don't have any wires. They're Bluetooth, but they like they go like I know you can't see like right here on your ear. And they're not the loudest things in the world, but at the end of the day, you don't want them to be super loud. And they let you, like if you're running next to the road or going to cross the street, you could still hear what's going on around you.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like if you don't want, like have you ever ran and a dog runs up on you and it freaks you out? You're like, holy crap, like where did this dog come from?
Yeah.
Like you can hear the dog coming. Like it allows you to do that. So I really like those in terms of gear.
Ah,
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'm going to check those out because it's right now I got my Beats like over the ears and they're just feel like the most comfortable, maybe because I wear them the most, and so
Yeah.
I'm just the most comfortable with it. But I can't imagine myself, even though I do sweat with them on, I can't imagine myself like in a race or something and I've got those things
Yeah.
on necessarily. You know, I
Right.
just feel I got to get
Yeah.
used to something else. So
Right. And I know I've kind of alluded everything, but racing wise, kind of how High Rocks went. Just like a quick recap, man. Like I ran that thing. I did it the way I wanted to do it. I was really happy with how I did. So it was I felt like I ran really fast that race, and the times really weren't that different. I think there was like a minute and a half difference total running time compared to Vegas.
yeah.
But I felt like I was moving a lot faster. Like I just felt better. I went through the stations how I wanted to. I went through sled push. I didn't blow up that time. I went half a length, rested, half a length, rested. I did really well. And the sled pull, I dominated it this time. I didn't. I stuck to my game plan. I actually practiced this time, and everything went well. The one part that tripped me up is my time was actually faster or it was slower this time on burpee broad jumps.
Ooh.
So I didn't realize. I got to the burpee broad jumps and I started going and I got down one length. I'm like, all right, here we go. I feel good. I feel good. I make it down the other length. I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, I feel great. And then I'm like, where am I supposed to go? And I look and there's 2 more lengths. I was like, oh my gosh. Like it wasn't down and back like how you saw it in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
They had shortened it and it was down, back, down, back. So there's 4 lengths. So like I blew a gasket going down and back on the burpee broad jumps.
Trying to catch up.
No, they just seem short. I was like, man, this feels short. And I didn't realize it until I turned that second corner, or until I got the second length. I'm like, oh my gosh. So the third time through it, would hurt. That one really, I kind of felt slowed down. But after that, I picked up the pace and on the 4th one, and the running still got slower as it went throughout, and my last run was the worst after the lunges. But overall, I was really happy with how I finished. I beat my time. I got 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Hey.
So beat the 70-minute mark, and that will be my last High Rocks Open race. So from now on, I'm going to do the pro races where it's the higher weight, and they get to go later in the afternoon, evening, like early evening, night time.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're done for a little bit, or when's the next event now?
Yeah. So right now I'm done for the next several months for High Rocks. I had New York City on the calendar for the end of May, but between, member guests, bachelor party, and then the wedding at the end of the year, I was like, I'd love to do the New York one, but I'm just going to put that one off till next year. I'll sell the ticket. I'll make a little bit of money on it. It's a really hot, coveted ticket. So, for now, no High Rocks races. I am thinking about doing a half marathon next month or in May.
Wow.
So the plan is to become a better runner. That's just what I got to do. And I'm comfortable running, but I need to be faster. And that doesn't happen overnight, and it won't happen in 6 months. It'll take a lot of time, but I'm going to start putting a more coveted effort towards becoming a better runner. That will translate to High Rocks. So I feel like that 10K to half marathon frame and being good and fast and muscular endurance and everything like that goes with it. I think that's going to really tie in well to High Rocks. And with High Rocks, High Rocks has already announced the race in Dallas for the week before Thanksgiving. So I know that's 8 months away. But that's a really good time frame to be like, okay, I get to practice running, I get to play golf and enjoy the summer, and I get to, just enjoy being overall better at fitness, just as a human. So that's the plan right now. Is the next High Rocks race will be in Dallas in November, pro weight. I'll be back there doing that.
Man.
Yep. So that was gonna. And do you have any questions for me on my race, or are we?
I was going to ask you. I mean, you kind of answered them, because I was going to ask you, what was it that you felt like you did much better this time than what you did last time? And I was going to ask you about the running portion. Did you feel like you improved on that at all? Because when you and I talked a little bit, I don't remember if it was on the podcast or offline, you were looking to improve your running time slightly.
Yeah, I looked at it, and they were better early on, but as a whole, they weren't that much. Like a minute 30 is actually really that's a big difference from race to race. But I felt like I just felt better. Like I felt springier, bouncier. I don't know if it had anything to do with the fact that like I didn't like travel and walk over 15,000 steps the day before.
Yeah.
Or if it was just, I think it was a little bit of both. Like I just had a little bit more spring in my step. And part of it was also, I just felt good. Like, when you just have good days. I executed all of the, pretty much all of the stations the way I wanted to. And it just felt like I was moving out there. I was like, yeah, I got this. And Lauren told me later that Robbie was like, he wants 1 hour 10. He wants to beat it. She's like, how's he doing? He looked at it. He said, he's got a chance right now. He said, he's got to keep it up. He's got to do this. And Lauren was like, she was like, this is what she told me. He was like, he's got to do this, and this. And but I think if he can do that, he'll be good.
Yeah.
So, it was cool to get it done, accomplish my goal.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm wondering if I can accomplish that goal too.
Yes. Tell me what you had in mind.
So, maybe it's a big maybe, but I might try to sign up for High Rocks in Dallas as well.
Yep.
It's something that me and your Uncle Kyle talked about doing it as a team effort. This first one out the gate, trying it out. He was here in California a couple of days ago. We went to Disneyland together. Sonia and I met them and we spent the day with them, and he and I talked about it. Maybe. I don't know for sure yet. We have a few months to train for it. Him and Yaron Genere, they're in Orange Theory all the time. And he's running 7-minute miles right now over there. And wow. I'm in high 10, low 11-minute miles. And I know I can get to 8-minute miles. And I'm thinking if I can get to 5 to 6 miles and being able to run that at an 8-minute to 9-minute pace overall, then I feel like I should be kind of ready to go. I'm not so worried about the lifting portion of things. I'm more worried about the running portion, even though I know the lifting stuff is hard, but I've been lifting for a long time. So I feel like I would be okay strength wise. It'd be the cardio and the conditioning would be the big part of it. And I know on the lifts themselves, not saying I'm not going to wear out. I'm just saying that most of my lifting though is I'm not rep based, I'm time based. So it's, some reps are 12 reps because of the weight. Some of them are 18 to 20, just because I'm going based on time. So I feel like I'd be okay right there, but I want to get that cardiovascular fitness up.
How do I
That's why I want to split the load though with Kyle.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get honest with you, okay? Mm-hmm. What you're doing, you've already chosen to do already, and running a 5K is a little uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. It felt like something you're not comfortable doing, and you're like, gosh, that doesn't feel like, it's different. I think personally, and I'm biased obviously because I've done the races, it's nothing that you've not done before. Putting yourself out there, and even though you would have a partner, it's the same feeling. Doing it the first time, even if you're doing it with someone, in this case it'd be Kyle, it's hard. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. And the barrier to entry, and we've talked about it, is very minimal. There's people of all ages, shapes, and sizes that do it and that finish it. Now, I think what is the hard part about it, it's not the race, because you're going to show up with all this adrenaline on race day, and you're going to run it, man. Mm-hmm. And it's going to get done, and the weights are going to move sometimes. Your heart rate's going to be jacked the whole time. I spent like a quarter, over half of the thing in zone 4, a quarter of it in zone 5. Like it just, but I trained to do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The hard part is training your body to be able to do that for that extended period of time, right? So if you're going to do it, I think you should just commit to it, and you're already putting the steps forward to it. You're running. You just got to adjust a couple things. It might be how you work out. It might be different like training blocks. Like you focus on some things here, and then you kind of shift it. And also, but you want it to revolve around golf, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you want to give that up.
I do not. So
no, and no. So, do you have any fears associated with it, or is it just like just be honest? Are you afraid of it, or is it just something that you feel like you want to do just to say that you did it? Like what goes through your mind?
Good question. I don't know how I feel about it right now. Like, I'm not afraid of it. There is some fear of not necessarily failure, but there is some fear of putting myself out there like that and training for something. When I played sports growing up and even into college, I didn't know any different, right? I didn't know how to, I started playing football and baseball at, baseball or t-ball at like 5 years old, and I started playing football at 7 or 8. I didn't know any different than doing that. The fear that the anxiety, I don't really get too much anxiety, but like when I first ran track in college, because I did run it in middle school, early high school, and then I didn't run it anymore for a couple of years. And then when I went back to school in college, that's when I started running track again. And that fear of like that nervousness, like even thinking about it is like, I have that feeling of like what that felt like. And, so it's definitely something that I want to accomplish. And that first time I step on the track and I look to the left and there's people from Texas A&M, and I look to the right and there's people from Texas Tech, and I look down at my singlet. Yes, I used to wear a singlet, but I look down at my speed singlet and it says SR from Sol Ross, some little tiny school that's 6,000 students in Podunk, West Texas. And so there's definitely that fear, and even thinking about it, I still have that same fear. And I wonder, even for myself, like, I don't know, I talked with Kyle about it, and it was almost like, in talking with Kyle though, it was like a security blanket that we'll do it together versus doing it by myself. Even though I think I could do it and finish, I'm not going to, it may take me 2 hours to get it done, but I think I can do it and finish by myself. But it's like having my brother there gives me like a little bit of that security blanket that we're going to do it together. And so that makes me feel a little bit better about it. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like I want to accomplish something like that. I've never forced myself to try to do anything like that at all. And I'm pushing 50. I'm not quite there yet, but I am getting close to 50. And thinking back, like the hardest thing that ever happened to me before was stepping out onto that track. And then the second hardest thing that happened was learning to play golf as a single by myself and putting my game out there in front of other people. And I got over that fear. And so this one here is kind of the next one. And it's been 10 or 15 years since I've felt that feeling. But anytime I think about it, like my stomach just kind of tightens up.
How lucky are you that at 48 years old, you still get to do things that challenge you and make you feel the way you did when you were 25 years old?
Yeah.
When you were 18 years old. Isn't that so cool? Like athletically, how cool does it feel that you get to feel that feeling of like these jitters, like, and to be able to like, to think that I can go do that, or I'm going to put myself out there in a position to go do that.
Yeah.
I heard something the other day. I was telling Lauren, like, you don't have to be a pro athlete, right? You don't have to be a pro athlete to act like one.
Yeah.
You don't like, if you eat good food because it makes you perform better, okay, who are you going to piss off? You're going to piss off people who don't want to fuel themselves the appropriate way.
Sure.
Right? And it's not just fueling your performance, it's fueling your brain. It's fueling how you treat people, your day-to-day life, how you feel, the discipline it takes to do these things. And I'm still going through it. And like, I see it as an opportunity every single day to do these things that are hard. And it's like, I just know, like, right now I might not see some of these, like, these big leaps and bounds of improvement, but where am I going to be 3 to 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line? And it might not be in high rocks. It might be in other things, but putting yourself out there and having the ability to do it. Like, dude, I was out there running. There was a guy in a freaking wheelchair with amputee, no legs, just getting after it, man. He was rolling. Like, I was like, dude, this is incredible.
Yeah.
There's a guy without legs doing this right now. Like, it's incredible. So you just, if you want to do it, I say commit to it. Commit to, obviously you don't have to give up your golf, right? You can make it work around that, but there's 8 months of time from like right about now to where you could be in a really good spot. And I would encourage you to do it with Kyle. I think that's really cool. I found it so much fun to do it with Isaiah the first time. It's a lot of fun doing it with someone. And then, you can be like, oh, I did it. That was so much fun. I'll do it again, maybe another time. If not, like, it might even translate even better into golf for you. Who knows?
Sure. Sure.
So,
And I think that's part of it though too, is that I know I know, like you and I were talking about it, all of this training has led to you're feeling a lot more easier with golf. Your swing is a lot more fluid. You're hitting the ball a little bit further. All of these things, like, and I feel like it can only lead to that, right? I mean, like
yes.
anything that I'm doing, training wise and all of this, it's for me, it's related around golf. Like I want to be better to play golf better. So I'm not trying to make the PGA Tour or anything by any means. I'm nowhere near that, but I want to be the best golfer that I can be in this time frame where my mind, my body, my physical attributes are obviously not at the peak as they were in, you know, my mid 20s to my mid 30s, but at the peak of all of those types of things kind of rounded together to where I can play my best golf because I still have strength and power. My mind is definitely different and more mentally strong and mentally tough. And so being able to kind of roll all of those things together, like I want to give it the best shot that I can for the next, you know, 5 to 8 years before
Yes.
I really get to that point to where the decline starts to happen, which it will happen and it'll catch up with me and I won't be able to hit a 300-yard bomb and I won't be able to hit my 7-iron 180 yards, you know, and that those things are going to happen at some particular point, but not yet, and I'm pushing that stuff away, and I want to do whatever I can to push that off as long as possible. And it's that thing, like I told, you know, I've talked about you know, with Sonia before, like even for myself, I plan on living to like 85 plus. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to be here till at least I want to get to 85, and then anything after that, like I still want to live past 85, but I want to get to 85 because I still feel like, you know, you getting married and I want to see your sister get married and I want to see grandkids and I still want to drive my car fast and I still want to go play golf and I still want to lift weights and I still, you know, there's like all of these things that I still want to do. I want to travel. And so it's all built into like all of this that I'm trying to do because I want to enjoy life and I'm living right now. I really feel like, other than raising you and your sister, uh, I'm living my best life with Sonia. Like we're so happy as a couple together and we enjoy hanging out. And, but we're also at that point in our lives where you and your sister are pretty secure in what it is that you guys are doing. And there's a lot less pressure, right? Overall. And the freedom that you feel from raising a family to where you're at now or to where I'm at now, like I want to enjoy this as long as possible, you know?
Yep.
And so, because it is such a great feeling to be able to, and I don't look down on like my friends that had their kids at a later age versus me having them at a younger age. But I feel like life wise, I'm in that peak moment of being able to enjoy everything, right? Being able to enjoy podcasting and some social media and talking to you and having 45-minute conversations with your sister and Saturday drinking with Sonia, you know, and doing a little day drinking with her and having lunch. And so it's a great point in my life right now. And I'm very, very blessed right now with where I'm at in my life. And I love it. I love where my life is at right now. And I want to accomplish like the high rocks when I think about it. It's just another thing that I want to accomplish. And like you said, be able to talk about it later and say, I freaking did that, you know, like I did that. And so it's exciting to me. It's exciting me to think about, but it's also anxious feeling of putting myself out there as
everything.
a almost 50-year-old man. And like, I'm going to do this now, you know, like, what am I thinking?
Yeah.
You know, why am I even feeling like this?
Right.
But yeah, man, so many feelings, you know, right now overall, just for myself, you know, just a lot of things going on that, you know, inside. And it's not to get too philosophical, but I saw something on social media and it brought me to tears, you know. So a man is talking to another man and he asks him if you would like them to know about you. He started crying. He says that there's so much inside of me that inside of men that we don't release and that we don't talk about and that we bury deep inside. So it's that feeling too. Like I feel that, like I understand that, like just burying things and burying things and burying things. And I, you know me, I get emotional over stuff, and it's a trigger for me. It's a hairpin trigger for me sometimes, because I'm so much more comfortable in my skin with that now versus when I was younger. Like it wasn't like that. You know, I wasn't as emotional. I maybe a lot more tougher, I guess, to a certain extent. But yeah, it's sorry to get so real, but yeah, that's how I feel.
No, I love it.
That's how I feel right now. You know, it's that way. It's just enjoying everything. And you know, and it's so cool. Like we went to Disneyland, like we were talking about, and just, you know, excuse me. You know, like watching my brother, he and I are 9 years different. And I used to play with him like all the time. And when, you know, your nickname, people don't know, is Doozer, because you want to do everything like Kyle and I were doing. Like everything we were doing, you wanted to do it. You wanted to do it, right? And so, you know, so to see him now raising his kids and really enjoying, you know, and just like everybody, he, you know, wants to discipline his kids, and he's loving his kids, and you know, just to see them go up to him and like hug him. I'm just so proud of him. And I'm glad that he asks Sonia and I, and him and Jenere ask Sonia and I to be a part of that. It's almost like we have like that little special thing, the four of us with those kids, and then to see those kids like hanging out with their Auntie Sonia, ride the ride with me. Auntie Sonia, let's go get churros. Auntie Sonia, you know, and I just, I love it. I absolutely love it. And, you know, and I don't, like, I'm at a point in my life where I don't want that to stop right now, you know?
Yeah.
So
look, and dude, that's so well said. So well said. I think look at what the prospect of doing something does to your emotions.
Yeah.
It does to what, like you love the opportunity to have the opportunity. You love the moments that everything brings, and you're just taking life as it comes. So it's amazing. It's amazing that, you know, we get up and play golf. We get to enjoy our families, and we get to, you know, learn from, you know, and see others as well, right? Grow up and everything like that. So
yeah, man,
it's an ever evolving process. It's always changing, and curveballs get thrown at you. And, you know, I was funny. I was on social media the other, I think it was today. I think it was from Bruce Almighty or Evan Almighty, whatever the movie was, Morgan Freeman's God, right? And it's something like, you say a prayer, and it's like, God, please make me courageous. Does he make me courageous, or does he give me opportunities to be courageous? And I think we got to look at life the same way. And it kind of hit me in the chest for a second. I'm like, wow, like I don't remember seeing that part in the movie. Like, are you all of a sudden courageous, or are you given opportunities where you have to like challenge yourself and be like, I need to stand up here and be courageous? Are you automatically fit, or do you have to put yourself in a consistent position to get fit?
Yeah.
Are you automatically a good dad, or did it take time to learn how to be, you know, because you're not somebody else. You're only yourself, right? You can't say, oh, I love, you know, because we love Pop, but like, you know, you're not Pop.
Yeah.
You're you, right? Yeah. Pop's Pop. You're you. I'm me. We got to be the best version of ourselves. So, man, it's exciting times.
Yeah, for sure.
Be able to
to
have these conversations.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, kiddo. I mean, let's wrap it up. Let's link up again, not too in the too distant future, and let's get into some of that golf stuff that's happening out there too a little bit. Yes. You're taking a little break from High Rocks. I'm going to be, you know, not quite ramping it up right away, but, you know, getting more focused on potentially maybe doing High Rocks in Dallas. And, you know, but golf is coming up on us here pretty quick.
Right around the corner.
Have you had a chance to get mentally into anything golf related wise right now?
Not necessarily. I played around the other day and I shot a 96.
Hey.
It was, the driver was feast or famine. I was actually really good around the greens. Like I chipped like it was like I was in the middle of the summer and I was primed up. Like the chips were good. Putting was below average. Iron shots were, whatever. Overall, I just, let too many balls, a little too many errant shots off the tee box get away from me. But it was fun to get out there.
Yeah.
I definitely it's one of those things where I just need to go out there and swing it a little bit more. And now that the High Rocks season has come to a close, I'm going to start incorporating some more mobility again, some different things that go with the golf swing and practicing. So
yeah, for sure. Funny, I was just totaling it up a little bit, and I said I wanted to play 40 to 50 rounds was my goal for this year. I'm already up to like 12 to 15.
Really?
Yeah.
It's March.
And it's March. Exactly.
Yep.
So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to keep it going. And I've been hitting, I still want to get it down a little bit, but I've been averaging out of the 12 to 15 rounds. I'm like an 82 right now is like my average score. So I am sitting in a low 7. How do you
feel about that?
It's about 3 or 4 strokes off of where I really want to be. I want to be 79, 80. And I did reach out to my golf coach because I wanted to talk to him about a couple of things. And he was asking me, where do I want to get to? And, of course, like you got to get back to that swing path. You got to make that thing happen. That's going to be a big thing. He was talking to me just about a little bit of, we were texting back and forth, Ryan Turingrove, shout out to my man, Ryan, and just texting back and forth for about a half hour or so. And like I said, we talked about some of the swing path stuff. We talked about some of the approach and mentality of, where I need to be in order to get there. Cause I told him my overall goal is to be able to show up to any course and hit 82 or under. Right. I mean, it's almost like a roll out of bed and it's an automatic. And so he was telling me, you got to think about it this way, a certain amount of greens and regulations and, being able to hit a certain amount of fairways, type of thing. So, which I think I can make happen overall is I can make those things happen. And I've been working a lot more on my pre-swing routine, and I'm trying to incorporate that because I did notice I played 9 holes on Sunday. And I did notice like I lost concentration on about 3 or 4 of the holes, but also like I was talking to your Uncle Kyle because we had lunch because they were still in town here, and I did lose concentration. And, one of the par 5s I'm either in an eagle contention or, making birdie on this par 5, I top a driver. And then I go over and I pull out my 3-wood. It's in a very favorable lie. Pull out my 3-wood and boom, I just shoot one off to the right. And then I turn around and next thing you know, I'm behind the trees and I got a chip out, and that's my 3rd shot. And then all of a sudden I pull out as like a 7 or an 8 iron and I knock it up there and I'm only 4 feet away with one good shot. And then I put it in for a par. But like, it's just, that should have never even happened.
Right.
I was just scrambling like that, and, but it shouldn't. That's
exhausting too sometimes. It is. Whenever you're playing that kind of style of golf some days.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh. Like, and it's not even like that you're disappointed in yourself. It's like the constant stress of like, you're like, oh, like, all right, let me recover here, even when you're mentally right. Like just.
So that led to the next hole, and the next hole is a par 3 that I have to hit over the water to a certain extent. I mean, the water's kind of off to the side, but I hit it over the water because the way it cuts out, boom, hit 3 feet right next to the pin. And I'm like, the guys are like high-fiving me the whole 9 yards. All of a sudden the ball's I spun it too much and it trickled off to the side, and it landed like, it didn't go in the water. It landed right on the edge of going into the water.
Ooh. Yeah. So
then I go up there and I chip it, and bink, it hits the hole, and then it rolls away. It's just like, so it's hard to concentrate like when because you have that frustration and everything else. And that's the mental stuff that I still think I need to work on is letting that one last shot go and then turning around and give it some focus, you know what I mean? And then, and then that led into, so I ended up making a bogey on that par 3. So I struggled to make a par, and then on an easy, what looked like it was going to be an easy birdie ends up being a bogey. And then I go to the 9th hole before I take off. And what I end up doing, I freaking smash a driver left, you know, just because I'm frustrated and I don't take my time and I smash a driver left. And the next thing you know, I pull out an 8-iron and I freaking crush one up there, and it's 4 or 5 feet away from the pin, and it's a nice shot. And then, you know, and then the greens are fast, so I hit one and it trickles away, and oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yes.
But
yeah,
you know, it's just fun. That's what makes golf though fun though.
Dude, that happens. That just, you have days like that.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
The next time you go out there, you're gonna be freaking putting it right. You know, you're gonna be bad. You know, good tee shot, bad iron shot, but then your third shot's right next to the hole and you get a par, and it was like, it's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's why golf's so much fun.
It is. It is. We'll try it out again on Saturday.
Good.
All right,
kiddo. Where are you playing?
Just here at the home course, Ukaipa Valley.
Good.
So yeah, it's nice and easy. It's just able to get my work in, and I think that's part of it though too, that I need to work on, is the fact that I'm at the home course and I know it so well that I lose concentration because I know exactly what I'm going to do on every single hole. And it's almost, I think I need to go to that, you know, I'll go into different tee boxes on every single hole just to give myself like a different view,
look.
a different look. And it forces me to practice and try different shots. And so
puts different clubs in your hands.
It does.
Different shots. And you're like, all of a sudden you've got a 60 degree. Then you're like, oh man, I kind of got to get I got to get creative with this, you know? Like,
yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, kiddo, where can they find you on social media?
Yes. On social media, you can find me on Instagram at gblockjacobo. And then on YouTube, you can find me at Gabriel Jacobo Jr. I try to have a video out about once every 10-ish days. Just kind of depends. Like with High Rocks, it's been a little bit different. I've been trying to space things out. But check that out. About 3 to 4 videos a month. That's where you can find me.
And like Gabriel, you can find me on social media, Instagram at CaliLobo45, TikTok as well, gabe.calilobo. And you can find both of us here with the podcast on YouTube at Fairway Conversations. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment every once in a while. I'm more than happy to respond. Check us out on all the major platforms. And don't forget cravengolf.com for your
cravengolf.com.
Yeah, Fairway Conversations at checkout to get yourself a discount.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a good conversation, Dad.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, Gabriel. So we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right,
love you.